If you travel from any part of the world or the old continent towards the Mediterranean, there is a country on the coast of the Adriatic Sea of tumultuous history and amazing natural beauties. In the Dalmatian part of Croatia, at the heart of the Zadar region, lies the ancient town of Nin, the very center of the Croatian culture. The old city center is located on an islet only 500 meters in diameter, hidden in a magical lagoon with rich vegetation and beautiful sand beaches. This town is a combination of natural and cultural beauties. The tourist destination of Nin offers the blend of a quiet holiday in private accommodation at Nin and untouched surroundings, the unique nature which has not been radically changed by the man. This is a hidden oasis of peace for a holiday, waking up with the song of the birds, swimming on natural sand beaches, long walks, enjoying in the nature with unusual flora, discovering cultural attractions in a town of a rich heritage. It is a corner for the many families which lead busy lives and wish an entirely different type of holiday as offered by the Zaton Holiday Resort, where in the shadow of pines, in modern suites furnished to blend with the landscape, and in the camp, the winner of multiple awards in Croatia, they will encounter the magic of children playgrounds, playrooms, entertainment programs, swimming pools and many different activities. Explore this natural botanical garden and visit the newly discovered natural habitats. Different rare and endemic plants blossom from spring to autumn. There is also the rich fauna, fertile fields and extraordinary water riches. One of the 3 salt pans of Croatia is located here. Salt has been the source of the city's wealth in its long history. People have always lived from and by the sea. Salt pans are the oldest business, extracting the salt in the traditional way, using the sun and climatic conditions. Tourists love to visit the salt fields, take part in the gathering of the salt, and it is a special experience to watch the birds, the unique black-winged stilt. In the vicinity of the Queen's Beach, there is a place famous for the pelluid mud that has been used for treating different conditions for 30 years. The therapy is carried out in the natural environment, complemented by bathing and swimming in the warm sea. The healing mud is used for different treatments, mostly for the rheumatic diseases, and it is especially popular as a facial and skin cosmetic preparation. The legendary lagoon of the town of Nin will leave no one indifferent, and the view extending to the Velebit mountain is breathtaking. The dignified mountain guards this 3,000 years old town delivers the Bora, the north to northeaster wind that cleans the air, brings plenty of ozone from the Velebit pastures, cheers up the mood. The mountain contributes to the peacefulness of the environment it protects. Serenity prevails here. It is not surprising that life has existed here since the 9th century before Christ, ever since the times of the Libonians, an old Illyrian tribe that founded on this rich fertile ground, in the lagoon physically protected by the sea and the swamp, the settlement of Enona that existed from the 9th to the 1st century before Christ, when the town continued to exist under Romans and developed into a large center, the Roman municipality of Aenona. During the Roman rule, Nin was a free city with its own government that completely changed its urban makeup in the 1st century. Walls were erected, bridges, gates with towers, and aqueducts were built. Walls were erected, bridges, gates with towers, and the aqueduct were built. The town itself was decorated, streets were tiled, 2 main streets defined, a forum was built, and a magnificent temple, second half of the 1st century Anno Domini, the impressive remains of which are today a historical site for the visitors of Nin. The Roman temple in Nin is the biggest building from those times on the eastern Adriatic coast. If you head eastward from the former forum, you will find the remains of a villa urbana with frescoes and rich floor mosaics testifying to the high quality of living in the ancient Aenona. The floor mosaics, dating back to the 2nd century, with geometrical, plant ornaments and images of animals, represent one of the best preserved and most craftily made mosaics discovered on the Adriatic coast so far. The coming of Croatians to the region of Dalmatia and Nin was a big historical stepping stone. Due to its tradition and position, Nin soon became the most significant political and religious center. This town contains the first monument to the christening of Croats. The baptistery of Duke Vyacheslav dates back to the 800 Anno Domini. It is a large hexagonal marble bowl for performing the ritual of christening, with carved Croatian wattle ornaments and inscription. Nin is a town where the distinctive culture of the Croatian Middle Ages is more present than anywhere else in Croatia. It was in this town, during the reign of the Croatian Duke Branimir, that the Croatian state was recognized for the first time in history, on 7 July 879, by the Pope John VIII, the greatest authority at the time. Many Croatian dukes had their seats in this town, parliament sessions were held, and charts were drawn here. And this is also the site where Condura Croatica was discovered, the historical boat that the ancient Croats used for trade and welfare. Nin was also the seat of the Episcopus Croatorum, Croatian bishops, the most famous ones being the Bishop Theodosius and Gregory of Nin. And it is precisely the statue of the latter, Gregory of Nin, situated in the very center of the old town and that, according to the legend, grants wishes to those who touch Gregory's tomb. Many have wanted to discover the mysterious mystical Nin and, having their wishes fulfilled, returned with new expectations. Even today, when you walk through this historical town, the patron saints of Nin, San Anselmo and San Marcella, keep a close eye on you and protect you. At the site of the parish church that carries the name of San Anselmo used to be a basilica from the early Christian period, and in the early Middle Ages the first cathedral in Croatia, the Cathedral of San Anselmo, was located at the same place. The parish church encompasses a rich treasury of goldsmith craft, which contains showpieces of reliquaries dating from between the 8th and the 14th century. This is the repository of the former cathedral and one of the most valuable ones in Dalmatia. Since the 16th century, Nin has been a famous Marian shrine because of the miraculous appearance of the Virgin Mary on the islet of Zečevo near Nin, celebrated in a special fashion each year with traditional processions to the islet of Zečevo and masses. During this time, pilgrims pour into the ancient town. The statue of Our Lady is kept at the Church of San Anselmo in a special chapel that used to be the chapel of San Marcella. In the historical core of Nin, there is a place where time and seasons were measured in the past. The most recognizable symbol of the town of Nin and the whole Zadar region. The Church of the Holy Cross is a building dating from the 9th century, with many distinguishable features. It stands out in the landscape due to its position and beauty. Because of its interesting shape of a cross, it is one of the most representative monuments of early medieval architecture. What distinguishes this little church from others is the irregularity of its structure, consciously done to track the motion of a sun. The church was also a kind of a calendar and a sundial. This church had the fourth dimension, time. Every year, at the summer solstice of 21st June, the event called the Festival of the Sun and Light takes place in the Church of the Holy Cross. To emphasize the astronomical and architectural significance of this church, it est the phenomenon that is both scientifically and professionally interesting and appealing to tourists on the national and international level. In this oldest Croatian royal town, one can enjoy in the blend of an ancient architecture and pristine nature, walks on the Nin waterfront and stone streets. And if you wish to take a memory or a souvenir or two back home, the ideal place to find beautiful original souvenirs is the salt pans and the Museum of Nin Antiquities. Nin offers Mediterranean type of food. Nin is also the town of the unique culinary delicacy called shokol. This is a type of smoked and cured meat produced from the smoked shoulder butt combined with different spices. This delicacy has a distinctive aroma, a little unusual, but it is very tasty. As with other valuable things in life, if you grow fond of it, it will make you come for more to Nin. And this delicacy has an event dedicated to it. The Nin Festival of Shokol, which takes place every year. The producers of shokol use this opportunity to compete in their craft. This event, accompanied with promotion of the tasty delicacy, klapa call singing, performances of folklore ensembles, is the right way to educate the young and to keep the tradition from oblivion. During your stay in Nin, you can enjoy almost every night in one of the events offered at the Nin Cultural Summer. The rustic Baroque house dating from the 17th century and the open stage within the early Christian Church of the Holy Cross are the centers of cultural life of the town. There is hardly an evening that does not offer the opportunity to see an exhibition, a theatre play, a concert of classical, jazz or traditional klapa music. A sporting event of some kind takes place almost every night. Indeed, there is something for each eye or ear. Once you visit this ancient town with rich history, valuable cultural heritage and unique natural beauties, the next wish made on the Gregorian stump will surely be this one. So long, until we meet again in the Royal Nin.